Hey everyone, welcome back to Blue Sky Fantasy. This is Kaladin here, and I'm doing the FFXIV lunch hour. Now, I trekked home, and it is negative 10 Celsius today. It feels like negative 15. I felt like walking home was almost like doing a dungeon and evading all the mechanics, and those mechanics being all the ice and snow along the road and the cars trying to run me over that don't stop for pedestrians. Now, just in context, in beautiful Miami, it is 70 Fahrenheit, so it's actually about 14 Fahrenheit where I live, and only 5 Fahrenheit. Dallas is 50 Fahrenheit, and oh wow, it's actually pretty cold for you guys in the desert states. 25 Fahrenheit in New Mexico. Yeah, so let's check my retainers and let's see if I sold anything. 68,000 gil. That is great. Did I sell any of the maps? I sold one of my maps. The dimethrite ore is not really selling. The hydurium. Let's see if Avi has sold anything. Avi sold 40,000 gil as well. This is actually looking really good this week. I have my camera in front of my gil. Like, let's see how much we have. I'm back to 165k gil. That's amazing. So we're on the right track here, everybody. I'm not going to be starving and begging in the streets of the Bayside Bevy down there. Okay, so let's get started on my gathering dailies. Let's travel to Ultima Thule and listen to that Bombin soundtrack. Base Omicron. Okay. So did you guys hear the Nintendo Switch 2 has been announced? And did you see that really high budget video they were able to put out about it? They make really, really good graphic videos and very modern tech, but why can't they do the same with their video games? Like the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo consoles in general, they're always behind a generation when it comes to graphics. Like Nintendo Switch is pretty much like it's not even PlayStation 4 graphics. And then the Nintendo Switch 2, I don't even think it's going to be the equivalent of PS5 graphics, let alone PS4. Like, they bring out a new console and they don't even improve upon themselves every iteration. Like, it's getting pretty sad, Nintendo. Like, Nintendo only focuses on hardware. The exterior, the motion sensing. Like, Nintendo does not focus on their software. They don't want to become powerful. They don't want to improve. And then they're saying that, well, and then woke fans will always defend Nintendo. The woke fans, they're always like, oh yeah, well, I don't play Nintendo for the graphics, I play for their fun games. And then it's like, well, I'm sorry, in the age of good graphics, in OLED displays, like, this is what the industry's starting to want, and more powerful machines that can handle the amount of graphics. You know, and Nintendo's just not really cutting it for what they charge nowadays. Like, the new console is supposed to cost $400 to $500, and it's like, I don't really justify that. And that's American, too. Like, so $400, $500 American, so we're looking at, like, with the horrible exchange rate, which just seems to be getting worse, we're probably going to be paying $700 for this damn bloody console. And it's, like, not even going to be good. And then almost every single time we get a Nintendo console, it's sold out right away. Like, do you remember the Christmas the Nintendo Wii came out and nobody could get a Nintendo Wii for Christmas? They're always sold out. And they're not unique to this. The PlayStation has had a lot of supply issues as well. But they're saying that there should be enough supply of the Nintendo Switch 2 to meet the demand, so we'll have to see if that actually comes to fruition. One big gripe I have with Nintendo is the Nintendo life cycle. So basically, what Nintendo's business model is they'll come out with a Nintendo, and then they will just give you, there will always be like good release games. So there'll be the brand new Mario Kart that always comes out with the console, and then if you're lucky, you might get a Zelda like pretty quick as well. So they will have their console sellers. Then the entire middle of the console life, there'll be nothing. Like, Nintendo would just have absolutely nothing on the console. They will expect people to just play Mario Party and Mario Kart the whole time. Like, you'll get with your friends and your family and just have fun like the good old days, and they just want you to like play the same games over and over and over. Then the second marketing thing that Nintendo will do is near the very end of their console. Like, I'm talking, their console's dying, it's at the very end, they're like just edging to bring out whatever their next console happens to be. Then Nintendo will start releasing a shit ton of games. And that's what the Nintendo Switch did. So we get Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, we get Super Mario RPG, we get like a new Mario and Luigi game, which we haven't got one in a very long time, and like a brand new Mario Party. Like, we get all this stuff right at the end of the console. Like, right when they're supposed to be bringing out a new console. So they want everybody to buy all these new games at the end, and then they have to buy the Nintendo Switch 2, which they always release games right when the Nintendo comes out. So to play Mario Party 9, you're going to have to get the Nintendo Switch 2 or the new Zelda. Like, it's very frustrating. And then PlayStation's the complete opposite. Like, so PS5 comes out, and they're not even ready to release the console. Like, and they can't even get the console to everybody, so then they're basically delaying games. And almost every time a PlayStation console comes out, it has shit games when it first comes out. Like, there's nothing I care about that comes out on the PlayStation right away. Like, it'll be like something stupid like Astro Boy. It'll be that Ratchet and Clank. It'll be like these useless, horrible games. And then in the middle of the console for PlayStation, that's when they hit their stride. You start getting the Final Fantasies, you start getting like Persona, you start getting God of War, like you get Uncharted, like you get these amazing games they start coming out in the middle of the console. And then the console fizzles off. So PlayStation always has its stride in the middle of the console. And it's about the time that the PlayStation comes out with a slim version. Like, whenever the PlayStation comes out with a slim version, that's usually when I buy the new console, because the console's smaller, but it has more hard drive space, and it usually comes with a bundle that comes with some games, and the price is just a little more justified for what you're getting. By the time the PlayStation announces a PlayStation Pro, that's when I know they're near the end of their cycle. Like, they're getting ready to milk it for as much as they can before they start to release a new console. So I don't know if we're going to see very many good games come out for the PlayStation 5 anymore. Like, we'll really have to see. But yeah, that's my rant. So for Nintendo, it's usually best to get earlier on, because that's the only time games come out, is at the end of their previous console and at the beginning of the new console. But then PlayStation, It's always best to wait. PlayStation just gets better with age as more things come out. Because the initial games when PlayStation comes out, they always come out with a new DualShock controller, and their main focus is just showing whatever new rumble they have, whatever new weird controller features they have. So then all their games will just focus on those features, and it's not actually that good. Like, they stop caring about those features as soon as they start getting into the good games. Like, the only feature that's like decent from PS5 is maybe the haptic feedback. Like, I do enjoy that. Oh, I got off my mount a little too early here. I'm getting distracted today. It must be Friday. Okay. Yeah, so they're supposed to be coming out with Mario Kart 9, and you're going to be able to race with 24 people. So that's very good for me, because when there's 12 people, I tend to be in first or second place, and you don't get a whole lot of items. Except for, like, you get the banana peels and the green shells, because Mario Kart's very equitable. It won't give you the good items when you're doing really well. It supports its struggling people the most. But imagine having 24 people. Like, it's going to be hard to be in first place with that many people. Like, I'll be in, like, 5th or 6th, so then you're going to start getting, like, all the good items. So then the game will actually be quite enjoyable, probably, like, because you're always going to have the cool items to try and get you back into first when there's so many players to compete against. Also, they're supposed to have a new snowmobile. They showed an image that one of the characters was riding a snowmobile, so, like, maybe we'll get some cool different level designs, kind of like how we had the hang gliders introduced, and you had the anti-gravity vehicles and driving underwater. Well, now that we're gonna have snowmobiles, so maybe you're gonna be, like, going up mountain sides and stuff, or, like, just it might be very interesting. So I guess we'll have to see. Do I need to go up or down? Oh, back to the cafe at the end of the world. Which, if I was in the end of the world, I would be at the cafe. That's where I would want to be. Just reading a book, drinking my latte, extra hot, no foam, or whatever the fancy people get these days. Where the F is this place? Okay. So did you guys hear the US Supreme Court voted that they are going to take down TikTok? So there's some beef with China or something like that, and President Trump wants an American company to buy TikTok. It's something to do with, like, Chinese spies or something like that. They don't want Chinese people to have control over TikTok. So yeah, they're banning it. They tried to ban it in Canada, and that didn't really go over that well. So they extended it, and I post some stuff on TikTok, but I'm being a little ginger about it. Like, I don't want to go all in on TikTok, because who knows, if we lose the entire US market on TikTok, it's not really going to be the greatest platform, which means YouTube Shorts are going to be killer. They're going to be king. So that's probably some of the content that I might focus on, is the YouTube Shorts, because TikTok has too much uncertainty for people to rely on it now if all these countries are having issues with it. So the inauguration of Trump is next week, and Canadians are quaking in our boots here. Trump has basically dissolved the Canadian government. Like, literally all he did was he made his social media trolling of Justin Trudeau and his threats of tariffs have completely crumbled the Canadian government. Like, we had our deputy finance minister, she actually quit because she couldn't support Justin Trudeau because Justin Trudeau, he was doing all these costly inflationary measures and borrowing even more money while we're trying to we need to like defend our border and everything, and like that's the most important thing with the incoming Trump. And then so Chrystia Freeland, our deputy prime minister, which is like a vice president, she quit, and she basically she sent this letter that completely threw Prime Minister Justin Trudeau under the bus and basically said that he's not leading the country right and this and that. So it's completely thrown Parliament into turmoil, and then Justin Trudeau's own Liberal caucus members are starting to lose confidence in him, and everyone's pressuring him to resign. And then JT, he won't even have a media release, or he won't talk to reporters or anything. Like, goes for Christmas and has a ski resort holiday with his family, and then some lady yells at him and flips out at him in front of his kids, telling him that he needs to resign, and it was perfect. The video went viral. And then he comes back in the new year and then is like, yeah, so I can't run the party moving forward, so I'm going to resign. But I'm not resigning right now, even though I've admitted that I'm incompetent. I'm just going to resign. I'm going to resign when we select a new leader of our failing party. Okay, so now we gotta wait. Well, now Chrystia Freeland, the former deputy prime minister, she just announced that she wants to run for the head of the Liberal Party. So now the lady that quit, and now she's gonna possibly be prime minister, and we don't actually get to vote for any of these people. Like, it's not like the US, like where you guys have the fortunate ability where you can vote directly for your president. We can't do that in Canada. We just vote for our members of parliament that represent us in our constituencies, in our different areas of our cities and whatnot, and then they form a political party that forms majority in government. Well, they have their own election process for who they want as their leader. So I don't know. It's almost like it's sort of like a dictator, because we don't actually get to elect the person in power of our country directly. So I really don't like that. So now we aren't going to have Justin Trudeau. We're going to have this random person that they choose to be our leader, and that is absolute crap. So, but on the opposition, we do have this guy named Pierre Poilievre. And Pierre Poilievre, he's seen as kind of a junior Donald Trump for Canada. Like, he has this Canada First mentality. He's very well-spoken, very common sense, and an overall good guy. And he's really trying to bring back Canada's economy. And he wants to slash our taxes. He wants to get rid of the failing carbon tax and things like that. And so it'll be very interesting, because Pierre Poilievre is probably somebody who will work very well with Donald Trump. So the whole world is kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. Like, often Americans aren't very tuned in, but a lot of Americans have actually been tuned into Canadian politics right now, because it's actually entertaining. It's a gong show, and it'll be fun to see what happens. Like, Trump keeps threatening to make Canada the 51st U.S. state, and there's all that about that. And there's some Canadians that are like, oh sure, just take us, and alleviate a lot of the problems Canadians are having. But then that's others are like, well, we're Canadian. We don't want to be American. We have our own culture, our own identity, which has been destroyed through years of immigration and destruction of our culture by our prime minister, but that's another talk for another day. Okay. This is almost like Dawn Trail. I just don't care about the story. Okay, I can't. I'm skipping this. I just want to get my dailies finished. So, where... I don't know where you get those sea star salt. I should really have my shepherd's pie, and then I should also have a survival. I don't get why you can't read a survival manual while you're flying in the air. It doesn't make sense to me. I read books when I'm on airplanes all the time. Yeah, it doesn't make sense, but there's a lot of parts of this game that aren't intended to be realistic. Like, Dawn Trail forces you to suspend disbelief to the point that you don't even know if you're on this planet anymore. Did I get... okay, I got all the sea salt in the area that has no sea. Such a cool area. It really reminds me of, I think it's Outer Wilds. It's this outer space game that you play, and there's like a dark hole in the middle, and if you fall, you can like... You have to like move around the dark hole, and you can like warp to the other side of everything. But you gotta do it carefully, or you can actually fall into the dark hole. Well, this kind of reminds me of it. Really not getting a whole lot done this lunch hour, not compared to yesterday. Yesterday I got my 6 gathering dailies done, and I got 6 other dailies done. I like got so much done. But it's Friday. I can come home later and I can have a pretty good gaming session. At least all these new quests mean that I have a lot more dailies to run, so it won't be as monotonous every day doing the same things. I'm just not used to these dailies, so I'm not on autopilot yet. Tangy, salty, fishy aroma. That's fucking gross. Not for me. I don't want fish soup. Oh, they're so cute without their mask on. Or is that just a loperate? Oh, I had no idea that's what these things look like. I'm glad I didn't skip this cutscene. The amount of back and forth in this area is driving me crazy. Like, they should have just had all the portals and all the stuff at the cafe. Oh, look at this place. This is really cool. So it's like that dungeon that you go through, and these are the people that everything got, like, poisoned and corrupt or whatever. And this is what it was supposed to look like. Well, I really like this. It's giving me, like, Zora Domain vibes. Is this part of Elysian? Are we done yet? Sweet. Unlock some more quests. There's probably some more stuff that I can buy. It's probably worth getting some gathering materia. Oh my goodness, there's so many quests here. I don't think I'm going to be able to get these done before I go back to work. Oh, this is cool. So it builds upon the first area. So just like all the other dailies, they keep building. Oh, that's awesome. Look at this area, guys. There's like water, and there's coral everywhere, and it's the galaxy in the background. Like, wow. Say what you want about Final Fantasy XIV FFXIV, but let's see a chat. Sorry, I don't normally get a lot of chats. Why can't I select him? But yeah, I will die on that hill. Like, I love this game. I still like this game. I'm gonna keep playing it. I have so much content to get through that it doesn't matter if Dawn Trail doesn't have the content everybody's looking for, because I like it and that's all that matters. And I'm gonna still be this voice out here that enjoys this game. And if other people don't like that, then that's life. I know this game's gonna get really good again. We just have to wait. Final Fantasy is not meant to be an extremely hardcore game anyways. The creators said that this is a game that you can still have a life with your friends and family outside of playing this game. You don't need to be attached to the MMO all the time. Like all these other games, like World of Warcraft, are such a grind that if you miss a few days, it's like you can't catch up. Like, that's not feasible. You shouldn't be in the game your entire life. So, I like that Final Fantasy is a gorgeous, relaxing place to go to, and you can just hop in. You can quit this game for like 3 months and focus on other things in life, and then come right back to the game, and it just feels like home. And that's what I enjoy about this game. Hey, Sophia. This is the JBL Tune headset. I'm gonna show you it. Yeah, it's a pretty good headset so far. It has really good sound. I really enjoy it. It has some bass too. I really notice it. It wasn't too expensive as well. That's why I got it. It doesn't have a separate little gaming mic. That's the only thing. But the PlayStation controller is what I'm using for the gaming microphone right now. Yeah, sorry it took me so long. I'm trying to multitask. This is Final Fantasy XIV Online, so the game's actually starting to get fairly old, maybe 7 to 10 years old. It's gone through quite a few expansions now. It has been World of Warcraftified. It plays quite similar to World of Warcraft, but it does kind of have its own feel. It's a lot more chill, a lot more mature, and the character designs are a lot better. The character gear, it's just very pretty. The level of customization, you can get all these Final Fantasy style hair on everybody, so that's a really cool part. Yeah, I would definitely give this game a try. I think there's some free game time out there, so definitely give it a try. It has a lot of different classes that you can play in the game. White Mage, a Scholar, Astrologian, Pictomancer, there's just so much. Okay, I'm not too familiar with that pair of headphones. So do you normally play World of Warcraft? Is that kind of your main game? Because I've heard that their new expansion's doing quite well out there. So like a lot of players are actually, some have been leaving this game to go to World of Warcraft, but I won't do it. I tried World of Warcraft the other day just to see if I could get back into it, and just the way the character models are done and just the lack of quality in the game, I couldn't do it. Like, look at this game. Look at everything we have here. The design, like, this is literally the end of the world here, the end of the galaxy, and there's like exploding stars in the distance. It's a color explosion everywhere. Like, I don't think I could go back to World of Warcraft. It just doesn't have the same effect. Like, you go to the land of the fairies in this game. Like, there's so much. But I have to end this FFXIV lunch hour. I do need to go back to work. I need to go walk back to work. But I will be on later in a few hours and be on more this evening. If you had any more questions, just leave some questions on the live, and then I can always answer them when I have some more time today. And thank you for watching my stream. I'll do these regularly during lunch, and I'll try to keep these entertaining. So if you like, you could subscribe, and I'll put out more lives quite regularly. Okay, thanks. Have a good rest of your day.